What is going on, you guys? White Fox 1225 here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about where the next Elder Scrolls game might take place. We know the game is pretty far away, but that doesn't make speculating about it any less fun, so I'm going to tell you guys where I think the game will be set in today's video. Let's start this video off by just assuming the game will take place in Tamriel. Now that is not confirmed, and I know a lot of people would love to see Akavir, but I really doubt that will happen. Bethesda would have to abandon all the lore they've worked on over the decades, and there's still so much left of Tamriel to see. For the time being, let's go ahead and say the game will take place in Tamriel, like all the other games have in the series so far. That leaves us with 9 possible provinces, those being Black Marsh, Cyrodiil, Elsweyr, Hammerfell, High Rock, Skyrim, Morrowind, the Somerset Isles, and Valenwood. And right off the bat, we can eliminate some of these. The first 3 I think 100% we will not see are Skyrim, Morrowind, and Cyrodiil. Those are the settings of the last 3 games, and I just cannot picture Bethesda revisiting them. Even if they wanted to for some odd reason, no matter what they did with the game, it would be compared to the nostalgia players have for the previous title, and I really think it would just be a train wreck. I would be really surprised if Bethesda went that route. So those 3 are kind of out of the picture, and now that leaves us with 6 possible locations left. But I think we can even eliminate more of these. Let's take a look at Black Marsh quick. I've heard a lot of players say they want to see the home of the Argonians, and I agree, that would be totally awesome. It has loads of cool lore, and the terrain is really cool and swampy. Unfortunately, lore-wise, it just makes no sense. Most of the land there has been said to be nearly impossible to get to unless you're an Argonian, and even they have a hard time getting to all of the places in the Providence. I think the odds are pretty low that we see a game here simply for lore reasons. Moving on, we have 5 provinces left that we could talk about, but before we get into them, I think it's important that we talk about what the plot for Test 6 will probably revolve around. I'll go into greater detail on this on a future vid, but I think it's fairly safe to say the next Elder Scrolls game will have us seeing a struggling empire fighting back against the Thalmor. Skyrim foreshadowed this very heavily with its Civil War questline, and even the card game Legends revolved around a similar plot. It is most likely that we're going to be going up against the Thalmor in the next title. There is a lot of evidence to back that, and I can't fit them all in today's video, but let's move on and assume that's true and we'll be fighting the Thalmor in the Elder Scrolls 6. We can basically rule out the Somerset Isles then, which is the homeland of the High Elves and the Thalmor. It wouldn't make too much sense having hyped this storyline up so much to have a game set there. You can't really fight the Thalmor in their home country, and it would actually be the opposite of fighting them. You'd probably be part of them. And for that reason, I just do not think we'll see the game in the Somerset Isles, and I think we can cross it off the list. Keeping what I said about the plot in mind, we have 4 provinces left to talk about, and those are Elsweyr, home of the Khajiits, Valenwood, home of the Wood Elves, High Rock, home of the Bretons, and lastly Hammerfell, home of the Red Guards. I think Elsweyr and Valenwood are less likely than the other 2 I mentioned just because they are part of the Altmerry Dominion. Possible storyline could take place around them declaring independence and switching sides to join the Empire. It is possible, but I don't think it's likely, and for that reason, I just do not think it's as likely we'll see these as the other 2. Those other 2 are High Rock and Hammerfell. Let's start off by talking about High Rock. It is a pretty good option. At the end of Skyrim, they are still loyal to the Empire. In fact, they're one of the only provinces that remains loyal to them. That would set up a Breton versus Thalmor storyline pretty nicely for the player. Personally, I love High Rock. It has a great high fantasy medieval feel to it. It's arguably the most traditional of any of the Elder Scrolls provinces, and I could see a game doing very successful there, and I think the fan base would have a blast exploring and adventuring in that area. Personally though, I think the most likely option for the Elder Scrolls 6 is Hammerfell for many reasons, and there is a lot of evidence to back this up. So according to the lore, Hammerfell is currently rebelling against the Dominion and are in active open warfare with them. Arguably, it's the place in Tamriel seeing the most action right now. The Empire is still kind of at odds with the Altmerry Dominion, but they have a sort of truce, but Hammerfell is actively fighting them right now in their homeland. Another storyline players really want explored more in depth other than the Thalmor is the disappearance of the Dwemer. Hammerfell has a ton of Dwemer ruins underneath it, so if Bethesda did want to explore the lore and that storyline, it would be a very good place to do that. It would also serve as a nice change from the snowy, Viking-inspired Skyrim being all desert with some very unique lore surrounding it. In addition to all that circumstantial evidence, there is some actual leaks and rumors that have been going around. If you guys remember a few years ago, before our dreams were crushed and we all thought we would have another Elder Scrolls game out by now, there were a lot of leaks that the game would be set in Hammerfell, and Bethesda even trademarked the name Redguard, so that potentially could be the title of the next game. I really think Hammerfell is the place that makes the most sense lore-wise. It makes sense because of all the leaks and things that have been put out, and I think it would do very well. I think the desert would be a nice change again from Skyrim, and I think it would be pretty fun to play there. Of course, this is all my speculation. Really nothing about the Elder Scrolls 6 has been confirmed, other than that Bethesda is kind of working on it, but even that is a gray area. So we really don't know anything about the game, but I will continue to make videos speculating on it and anything else Bethesda does. I also cover the Elder Scrolls Online pretty extensively on the channel, so if you're interested in any of that content, make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. Let me know in the comments below where you want to see the next Elder Scrolls game and where you think it might take place. Thank you so much for watching the video as always, and I will see you in the next one.